Alright, so today we are going to build something surprise today. I'm not going to tell you what, because if I were to tell you, it wouldn't be a surprise. So, I'm going to move this out of the way, and we are going to work on this. We are going to build something Transformers related. I'll tell you that much. Something Transformers related. I'll tell you that much. I got this from Bricker Builds, so that's what we will be working on. So first we need this piece right here, and then we are gonna need this piece right here, and we are gonna tap this together. And then we are gonna take this piece right here and this piece right here, tap that together, and we are going to take, I have the directions here, so don't worry. And then we're going to take this little piece and we're going to tab it there, and we're going to take this little piece and tab it there. And this is my first time actually building this, so yeah, I'm just trying to keep it, you know, a surprise. I don't want to ruin the surprise, okay? I really don't, because if I tell you what it is, it's going to ruin the surprise. So you'll see. I mean, you'll know by the title what it is, but I'm not going to tell you so much. You'll know what it is by the title, but that's pretty much all you're going to get out of it. Okay, so we are going to need 10 of these pieces, and we're going to tab them around. Alright, so we already have done this, so you're going to need 10 of these pieces total. Now you're going to move this to the side. We're going to take one of this, and we're going to take this, tab this on, like so. Same thing here. I mean, it's going to be exactly the same thing. It's not going to be a surprise, you know. It's better to do 2 for 1, because you are going to be doing the same thing anyway on the other side. As you've learned from my past Lego videos, that it's always going to be the same thing. So it's just better to get it out of the way. So yeah, there you have 2 of those. And what you do now is you take this, you tab them in like so. Same thing here. And then you're going to need these gray pieces right here. You're going to tab them in like so. So, you know, I'm actually excited about this build. This is actually a pretty fun one too. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is what they want us to do. I feel like this is how they want us to put it, to be honest. I don't know if that's how they want it. Okay, well, that sort of makes sense. Okay. That's how they want us to do it. Okay, I was on a correct track actually. I wasn't sure if they wanted us to. Yeah, we're gonna take this little piece right here, and this piece right here. I'm gonna tab it on the sides like so, as I did on the other side, and then we're gonna take these two big bricks right here, and we're gonna put them together. And there you have that. You should have something like this. It was confusing, don't worry. So, and don't worry, I get confused too. Anyway, then this goes here, and then this goes, and then this goes here somewhere. There we go. And we're going to take these longer bricks. Should be longer bricks. Anyways, so we are going to take these longer bricks or they're exactly the same thing. You can just plug them however you want. I don't think it matters. They just want you to tab it like this. I don't know why it shows one piece, but this is exactly how they want you to do it. We are going to take this piece right here and we're going to tab it on the orange. Take this piece here, we're going to tab it on the orange. So do you guys starting to understand what's going on here now? Sort of? No? Okay. Well, it's a surprise, okay? It's a surprise. So we're going to take these and tab these right next to the sky blue pieces. Like so. And then we're going to take this, we're going to tab this in. Tab this in. We're going to tab this in. And this is what we should have. Then we are going to take these two pieces, we're going to tab that in. Like so, and tab the in. So keep in mind these tabs are going to go over here. So okay, so this is Transformers related, I'll tell you this much. It is not a robot, but you would be close if you think that though, because it is very something similar to a robot. I'll tell you this much, it is something related to the primes. So we are going to take this and tab this in. Take this, tab this in, tab this in, tab this in, and then we're going to take this, we're going to tab this in between, like so. I'll show you here again. So we're going to take this piece, we're going to tab it in, and then we're going to need 4 of these. We're going to tab that in, tab that in, screw it, tab that in, and tab that in. There you go. So now that's one part done. Now for the second pack. I think you guys are going to enjoy this so much. I mean, it could be an arc. It could be. You will see in this step. We're now in pack 2. So if I show you what's going on, you guys are gonna be. It's gonna be surprising. It won't be surprised anymore. So, anyways, you're gonna take this. You are gonna tab it in the middle. There we go. That's the middle. And then tab that in. We're going to take this piece. I'll show it again. Take this piece. You're going to tab that in. Like so. Gosh, I like doing these build videos, except the part when they do get annoying. But this isn't annoying. It's just saying, like, in general, or in generality, that it's like Lego Hogwarts, that was just too much. I mean, regardless, it was fun for me, but it took a lot of time, you know. I wish it was better. It was fun. So we're going to take this same piece and we're going to tab it in. You're just going to want to line it up like this. Anyways, so don't get me wrong, that build was fun until it wasn't, because it took so much. I promise this won't take you that. It won't take me that much. Maybe two or three videos at the most. But I think I can make it fit in one. And then you're gonna take this, tab that in, take this, tab this in. The only brown pieces you'll see, like the dark brown. And then you're gonna take this green piece and you're gonna tab it in on top, like so. And then you're going to take 2 of these pieces right here, and you are going to tab them in like so, on top of the brown and gray. So this is what you should have now. Now you're going to take this piece right here and you're going to feed it through like so, and it should be in the middle. And now we're going to leave that to the side. Now we are going to bring this in and we are going to tab this in 6 times. So I'll be right back. Alright, as soon as we've done that, then we are going to we're going to put this side actually. We are going to need 6 of these actually. So once you have 6 of these, you are going to take this, tab them in 6 times. So so you're going to take this and you're going to tab this in. So you're going to do that a couple times and you are going to tab this in underneath. You're going to tab this in underneath. And I'll be right back. Okay, so once you have done that, you're going to take this and you're going to take this piece right here. Actually, you are going to take this piece right here. You're going to tap this in and tab this in twice. And once you do that, you're going to take this, you're going to tab it in like so, and you are going to do that 5 more times. Okay, so once you've done that, you are going to, there's going to be a lot of repeats, don't worry. So once you've done that, you are going to have this green in 5 more, 6 times total, and same thing with this red. Okay, so this is what I've done. This is what I've done to make it easier. The instructions are pretty much, difficult to understand. So all I did, I'm just going to show you off into one of the pieces. So I'm taking these pegs and tabbing them in like so. You're supposed to, I'll deal with it later. So you're supposed to tab these blue pieces in exactly like how they are now. And let me tab this in. So you can go ahead. Imagine that those are the eyes, but not really. So one is going to tab in here like so. And then what's going to happen is this is going to tab all of this in like so. So we're going to tab this in like so. It is so freaking confusing, don't worry. Okay, so I guess I'm looking at it wrong. So take this, you're going to tab one right here, right next to it, like so. And then you're going to tab one right here, like so. And you're going to skip this, and you are going to tab in like so. And this is what you should have. So there should be one in between, and then you're going to take this. Do you want us to do something real quickly? So you want to take this, tab this in, and you are going to tab this in together like that. And you're going to repeat that 3 more times. Now I've got every single one of these done. I keep popping this one off, but as soon as I can plug that in. So as soon as that's done, we're going to take this and we are going to tab. I'm trying to see which way we're supposed to go. We are going to tab. Which way? I guess this is the way we do it. Oh, okay. Gotcha. We're doing it wrong. There we go. So this is supposed to be upside down. And one is going to be straight up. Like so. And then this is going to slide over like that. Okay, I guess I was supposed to line up, but I messed it up. But it's an easy fix. So, does that remind you of anything at all? Let me raise the camera just a slight. But does that remind you of anything at all? So now that is done, I'm going to put that to the side. So I'm going to keep going with this because I know you guys won't watch my videos, so I've put them in parts. So now we're going to take this. You know what? I should say something. I'm already boring you guys. So, I had a very different weekend today. Or not weekend, but we're going to tab this in twice, and then you're going to need this about 8 times. We're going to tab that in 8 times. So, anyway, my weekend has been great so far versus the last weekend. It was just terrible. I went to, truth be told, never go to when you're doing an online dating, never do. Okay, so we are gonna need 2 of these right here and tab that in. Although they should have just made us do that beforehand, because now it's gonna be so difficult to do. So whenever you guys go on in-person dating, or you do like go to like some sort of hookup or something like that, I highly recommend be very cautious, because there are people out there who just want to waste your time. You're going to take these 2 and you're going to tab this in like that, and this is going to go on the side, and then you're going to come over here, and then you're going to take this piece right here, you're going to tab this in, you're going to tab that in, and you are going to repeat that. You're going to repeat that twice, actually. So I'll be right back again. So, and now continue with the story. Don't worry, I still have, the story gets interesting, so don't worry. So once you have done that, you are going to come over here, any of these actually, it doesn't matter which. You are going to tab this in. Now these will not fall out. I think the same thing goes here too, so. There we go. Do you see what's going on now? No? Okay. Alright. But this is what you're supposed to have, so put that right there. Back to my story. So, where was I? Give me a second. Okay, so we're going to take this and tab this in. You're going to take these 2 and tab this in the middle, like so. Okay, so, yeah, so just be careful. There are, you know, people out there who's just willing to waste your time and money, or time, money, and energy, actually, and your gas in terms of car. But anyway, so yeah, just be very careful, you know, because you'll never know what kind of people you'll meet. The day I'm recording this is on June 6th. And this is a few days ago, June 1st. I went to go meet somebody, and we were talking for weeks. And we're going to do the repeat here again. But since I'm already talking to you guys, I might as well like tell you anyway. So yeah, what I'm saying is just be mindful who you meet and how you meet, because that could actually affect you too. Like, yeah, if you know that person that long, that's a different story. But just be careful out there, because I was talking to this one girl. It was from look up dating site. I know. You're gonna be like, what? What are you saying? So, yeah, no choice. I did dating art. I'm gonna try to keep it as PG as I can. I don't know if I should say it here because it's gonna be on YouTube anyway that I'm gonna be posting. So, if you find out, you find out. But you will remember my word on this. So, yeah. We're going to take this and tab this here. There we go. I'm not sure if you guys know that now, but if you didn't, you will find out in a little bit. Because we are going to do the same thing again. So, actually, I have to tell you the story. Right. So, and I went to go meet this girl in person. And I got to the museum. I was texting her, hey, I'm here. And, I'm just waiting for you. And then I texted her, hey, I'm gonna be here waiting for you. And I was just like, okay, she's gonna arrive on time, So, only to find out, she never make it. And the next day, I should call my friends. I'm like, hey, what should I do? This girl didn't show up. What should I do? She's like, man, if she didn't show up, just like leave. And I told one of my friends, I'm like, hey, she didn't show up, and oh yeah, and this one is gonna get this. So anyway, it's exactly the same thing. But anyways, so she never showed up. It was so disappointing. So yeah, this chick never showed up. I was just sitting there waiting over like 40 minutes. I was like, okay, she's gonna come. And every car that I came by, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's the one. I kid you not, that's all I kept doing for past 40 minutes. I was like, well, this was such a disaster. I was not expecting this at all. Things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to be, but I found out the next day she didn't come because she had. So finally, after 10 freaking minutes messing around, so you're supposed to add these oranges on these like these little openings right here. So wherever these attach, they need to have that thing right there. Anyway, so if you still haven't figured it out, I don't know what to tell you. You should have figured it out by now. So anyways, where do I start? Take this right here. You're gonna need one of this, and you're gonna take this, and you're gonna take this. You're gonna tab that. We're gonna do that twice because it tells you, it shows you exactly the same thing. So, unless you want to do a repeat, which I don't know why you want to do a repeat. So, unless you want to do like a repeat, like, okay, I'm going to do this, off screen. I don't know, why would you want to do that? Sure, but it's better to do two things at once. But I guess everyone has their own preference, so I'm not going to say it. Anyways, you're going to take these gray pieces, you're going to tap that on there. And then once that is done, this is going to, wait a minute. There we go. So, and now it'll be easier for us to tab this in like that. There we go. At this point, if you haven't figured it out, either you're not you're not a Transformers fan, or you've been living under the rock somehow. There we go. That is what you're supposed to have. Okay, well, that took us a while. So, but essentially, that's what you're supposed to come up with. Let me give you a clarification. So they tell you to put this gray piece on top on there, like onto this rest of this piece here. I'll show you on my phone. They tell you to put this on here. I would highly recommend taking this off and correcting this and built around this. And if you have to make correction, do it around this point right now. Otherwise, you are going to have so much difficult time. And if you don't correct it now, if you did do it wrong, then I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to start over again. So it's better to get it done right now. At this point, fix it as much as you can. Now we're gonna move on to pack number 4. But yeah, just fix it when you can. If you don't fix it now, and if you ignore it, trust me, you're gonna have a whole lot of time. You're gonna be like having trouble figuring out what's going on. So now you're gonna take this, and you are gonna take this and tab it like so, and you are gonna take this and tab like so one more time, and then I will get to my story. Just give me a second. And then you're going to tab this in. You're supposed to have this fan. So you're going to tab this in. You're going to tab this in like so. And then you're supposed to tab this in. Let me bring this down. So this is what you're supposed to have. You're supposed to tab these in the middle or together. And then this is a separate piece. Let me show another piece off like that. So you're supposed to take this and you're tabbing in like this. You're tabbing it in like this. I'm not gonna tap that one because I know if I tab it, it's not gonna like untap. It's gonna be very difficult. So my story. So yeah, basically, yeah, just be careful is all I'm saying. And then you're gonna take this and you're gonna tab this in like so. There we go. And then you're going to take this, you're going to tab it in, if I can find the spot, there we go, and tab that in, and this is what you're supposed to do. And then you're going to take this, you're going to slide it over, out, and then you are going to do that. And this is just gonna sit there. It's trying not to topple over. And you are gonna do the same thing here, except when where did I put the other piece? You're going to take this, except using the yellow pieces, you're going to be using these clear pieces, but everything else is the same. So anyways, so yeah, I went to Lancaster and Palmdale, and then I just was waiting for that girl, stayed there for 40 minutes, and then that girl didn't even show up, and then the next day, I even tried calling her. One of my best friends were like, hey, did you try calling her? And I was like, yeah, I did try calling her. I'm like, no, wait, my best friends, let me backtrack. My best friends were like, did you call her? You should try. And then, I have 6 best friends. But anyways, I called, and then I was like, yeah, maybe I should call. And I called, she didn't pick up. It kept saying, the service not available. So that's what happened. It was just the whole day went to the waste. The only thing I ever got enjoy is you're going to take this and this green piece, you're going to tab that in, and you're going to find another piece like that and tab that in once. And then you are going to take this piece right here. Why am I speaking like this? I don't know. Maybe I do want to speak like this. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But I will speak the way I want to speak. Okay? Okay. Anyways, so I went to Lancaster to meet this girl. And yeah, she never showed up. The trip was pointless. You're gonna take this and tap this in, by the way. and the trip was pointless. And I tried asking her, I told her, I was so mad, and she's like, hey. It was like, hey, babe. I was like, don't talk to me. Instead of showing, instead of showing, like, oh, I'm sorry, oh, it's my fault, I should have done this, blah, blah. Nope, none of that. And then she told me, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. She's like, oh, okay, you know what? You don't want to know? Anyway, fine. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Did I miss something? Yeah, I did. Okay, well, that's not a big deal. Yeah, you're supposed to, okay, I think I did it off screen. So, you're going to take this piece, you're going to tap this on here, because I know it has like a little bit of, groove right there. So I'm just trying to fill that up, and we're gonna need one more of these, and then the rest of these hooks you can just like tap them in wherever. So anyways, I talked to one of my friends. I talked to a couple of my friends. I even showed it to my coach. I'm not gonna go deep into details what we talked about, but they all says like, wow, I was not expecting that type of thing, Anyway, with the conversation I had between me and my friends, my coach, that is something I won't reveal full in details, but they basically just said that she shouldn't have treated you like that. And I texted one of my friends today at the time of recording this video, said that this girl just yeah, I'm not going to tell you this website, but yeah, just be careful. Just stay away from some sites, because some sites, they turn out to be fake, and trust me, you do not want to get stuck on those. I'm just trying to do this off screen, but I still gotta tell you this story anyway. And yeah, I highly recommend, well, first, not throwing stuff. That's the first thing I recommend not doing. That's not part of the video either. So yeah, just be careful where you go on. Some things may seem like nice afar, but once you're in it, just be warned that there are some people like that who likes to take advantage of you, especially if it's a scammer website, Anyway, where was I? Okay, so you're supposed to basically tap this in, and that's what that's supposed to look like, and I'm gonna be right back. And you are gonna do this about 6 plus 11 more times. So we're almost done with this, at least the main part. Now, as the camera went on, see, that's how you're supposed to do it, like this. You're supposed to attach it on the hooks. Then we got one more. What I feel like this is just like to tap that on there. But I'm gonna hold off because I'm not really sure what they're gonna use this for. So this is supposed to go on a clear side. So what this is supposed to do, this is just supposed to tap on there, but I feel like I need to tap. I feel like this is how they want it, so I'm just going to tap that in like that. Otherwise, it's not gonna go in. So, and then I believe they want us to tap it in like so. We are creating the handle now. It's just now, before we move into 5 and 6, I am actually gonna tap these in. I don't think these are needed, but sure. Okay. And then I can replace this with this. Oh well. I mean, I'm not gonna use that anyway, right? So, might as well make use of that. And wow, that looks actually complete. And then I feel like since I'm just using this, since we're not going to be doing so much anyways, I'm going customize on this anyway. So screw it. Oh, that looks so nice. No, you don't have to do this. I just don't like having these extra pieces lying around, personally. Now, this is the last piece. This will be the last section of this. It's just now what we're working with. I have a screwdriver to do it off. To use, I mean. So we are going to now. Oh yeah, my story. Right. I almost nearly forgot. Let me just look for this piece and we will continue through. So we're gonna need 2 of these pieces. This piece right here and this piece right here. So anyway, I went and then only to find out. Okay, well, let's put that aside. But only to find out she wasn't there. And yeah, I bet something would have gone wrong. Something would have gone right. I don't know. But something would have happened. And you're going to tab this in right here. You're going to do that twice. Something would have happened. So I really suggest be cautious out there and who you meet. I mean, if you know somebody, great. That's awesome. But meeting a stranger, just be careful because you don't know how they are. And then I think we are going to double up on this from what I am seeing. I wish I can tell you my friend's story because it's so much creepier than mine, but I don't think he would appreciate. I don't think he'd appreciate telling me because I think that would just for me to hear. So yeah, just be careful who you meet there. You just don't know how other people are is what I'm just trying to say. I'm not saying don't meet people. I'm not trying to put fear in you. I'm just trying to say, go meet people. I'm encouraging you, in fact, go meet other people. It's just be careful what you do because you never know how these people are and what their intentions are, you know? And you don't know what they're after or what they're, you know, what they have in their mind or whatever. People nowadays are crazy, but that's what I'm just saying. Like, you know, be careful out there. You just don't know. So we're going to put this to the side. So I'm just saying, you just don't know how people are these days. And you may not find out what their intentions are. Anyway, so. Just be careful who you meet is all I'm saying. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying just be careful is all. You're going to do this twice. So you're going to tab this in. And you are going to tab this in. Like so. And not drop it. You're going to tab that in. You're going to take this. You're going to tab that in. And then you're going to come back here. And you are going to tab this in like so. Underneath and tab this in like so. And then, so yeah, just, it's all I'm saying is just be careful. I'm not trying to scare you or anything, but I'm sorry if I am. I'm just trying to say, you know, just be careful out there. You truly may not know what others' intentions are, so it's always best to, you know, have your own safety. This is gonna be a long one at this part right here. So what they want you to do is take this and then take this, tab, what's going on? Maybe I got the wrong one. Oops. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna tab this in and then take this, tab this in. You are actually gonna do that twice if I stand correctly. Yes, you are gonna do this twice. Once you do that, you're gonna take this and tap that in twice. So yes, I ended up wasting my time in Lancaster and Palmdale, but the bright side, at least I got to see what they are like. You know. So that was a plus at least. You're gonna tab this in underneath. So, but yeah, that was a plus that I got to see how Lancaster and Palmdale is. I was always wonder what they always had, but at least now I know. And then you are going to take this, tab this in. You're gonna take this. You're gonna tab this in twice. So as I'm looking for that piece, I'll continue with my story. So what ended up happening, I ended up going to see a museum. I was like, well, I'm interested in seeing that museum. I'm already here. Might as well explore what there is to do. The museums were decent. I wouldn't say they were boring, but they weren't that great either. So, if you happen to go to Palmdale and Lancaster, they're very isolated. Yeah, so they're very isolated from the rest of LA County. I mean, you can still get to them. I'm not saying you can't, but with that much drive, wow. Should be 6-sided. You're gonna tab this in, and then this is gonna tab in like that, and this is gonna be a snug fit. So we're not quite done with the handle yet, but you should have something like this. I'm going to put this off to the side. Now, what do you want to have? Okay, yeah, so you're going to need this piece right here, and then you are going to need, you're going to take this piece, you're going to tab it in. Let me put it this way. Yeah, apparently I'm doing it off camera. So you're going to tab this in. And then you're gonna take this, you're gonna tab that in. And then you're gonna take this and you're gonna tab that in, like so. And then you're gonna take this, you're gonna tab this in. And then you're gonna take another, should be here somewhere. I don't know where half of these pieces are in Mormon. So you're gonna take this, actually, this piece right here, and you're going to tab it in like so. And I'll be right back with the other. Actually, before I do that, there's one more piece that I am missing. And then you are supposed to come back here like so. And you are supposed to tab this in like that. And I'll be right back with the other piece. So I went ahead and made these handles. They're pretty big, so I'm gonna have to show them off pretty far. So we're gonna tab this in, if it will. I don't want to put too much pressure. Oh, it went. Nice. Okay. So same thing here. Same thing here. So you're just gonna match these up a little bit. I don't want to put too much pressure. So we are going to tab that in. There you go. We're not done yet though. So it's exactly what we did on top is what you do on the bottom, except it's upside down. And you just tab it in. That's all you gotta do. And what they want us to do is set a top right here. If it will let us. There we go. There we go. it's not done yet because we still gotta work on these sides right here. But they want us to put it there for now, for time being. So now we are left with this and then a few more pieces on screen. So what do you want to do now is take this and then take this, tab them together like this, take this, tab them like so, and you're going to repeat that same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing because they're just going to make us repeat it anyway, you know. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. So the girl didn't show up. So the next day, it turns out that she ended up having measles. So that was disappointing. So this is the piece that's supposed to go the furthest. This is what it's supposed to look like, right? So I've been using the wrong piece. Okay, so what's gonna happen is this is going to tab in like that, and then this is gonna tab in like that right there, and then you're supposed to take this blank piece right here, two of them actually, and you are gonna tab them in like this. And then these hollow pieces are supposed to be facing out. This is supposed to tab in like so. Now, you're going to take those same pieces again, and then you are going to take this piece right here, and you are going to tab it in like this. Now, what's going to happen is this is going to tab in like that. And then what's going to happen is these hollow pieces are going to be the only ones that are going to be facing up. So this is going to tab in like so. And this is how we're supposed to have it. And I freaking messed up. Although I think I put them in the... Okay, no, I don't think it matters. Anyway, so what are you going to do now is you're going to tab... you're supposed to tab them in. So I've already went ahead and tabbed this in, so you're going to tab this in twice, and then you are going to tab this in like that. And then there you go. I went customization for it. Fun fact, the Matrix does not have this. I just added these to support this. Because look, if I were to hold this, I have to hold it like this. If I were to hold it by the handle on the sides, it's not very stable. So I gotta like, you know, hold it on the sides. I'm gonna try to see if I can crazy glue these like later on, but those are the ones I was having trouble with. I'm gonna try my best to crazy glue this, this and this right here whenever I get the chance. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. I like how it came out to be. I officially have the Matrix of Leadership. Now I just gotta make sure I have to put my pinkies here. If I don't, I'm gonna end up like losing the grip of this. So gotta make sure this is the best it's gonna get. But there you have the Matrix.